Okay, here we are again. For the last time with this game, feels weird to be saying that so quickly after the last game took me 44 streams. This one was like a cakewalk by comparison. Nice and quick. But that's okay. The internet has a tendency to say, well, the less of this game that's played, the better, because it shouldn't be remembered. I disagree respectfully, but we'll talk about why when we get to the credits today. Until then, we've still got one more episode's worth of content to play. Quite literally, because there's the last episode, literally, and this is the final stream for the last episode. So. But we'll wait a couple of minutes and then we'll get started. Okay. Guess I'm a little pensive at the end of this whole project. Whether it's because I'm meditating on what I just spent the last 6 streams doing, or if I'm picking a god to pray to get me through this in a decent amount of time, I don't know. The only way we're going to find out is when we get to the other side, and, well, we have this to get through before we get to the other side. So let's work on that, shall we? How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the finale of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, the stream edition. Seems like a fitting episode for the finale, right? It's 2006, and it's the 6th stream. Not the 6th story, though, the 4th story, the last episode. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do today. We're going to get the whole thing done today, because I'm pretty sure, I know the last stage is, Mega Man X6 levels of bullshit to it, but I feel like we'll probably be able to pull through. We've got 3 hours. It'll be fine. I'm saying that now, and I'm going to get royally destroyed by it, so let me just knock on wood and make sure it doesn't happen. Maybe. I don't actually know how often that's actually worked or not, but there you go. Hey, Marie, how you doing? Yes, it's almost over. The pain can end. Welcome back. I have things to say about the game, and I don't know if playing through the whole thing will justify me saying it. I feel like I could have just said them and been done with it, but well, it'll serve as a good visual example, I suppose. Anyway, let's just get started so we can get this over with, shall we? The last episode. I don't know what the hell did you artificially make a Chaos Emerald or something, Mephiles, after you didn't get sealed? Are the clones that you created, are they like a distraction of some kind so that Shadow can deal with them while you go off and do whatever you're about to do? You've been screaming at 14, you've been getting shield healer after shield healer. It's playing like they're on white mage instead of a shield healer, then they blame you when you're getting destroyed during trash pulls. Yeah, that's not really very nice of them. They're supposed to behave proactively when they're a shield healer. Like this. See, Elise, use Galvanize. Oh. Elise, your reaction time was too slow. You should have galvanized him. If you would have galvanized him, he wouldn't have quite literally just gotten speared through the heart. So, I guess he was shot through the heart, and you're to blame, Elise. You give love a bad name, Elise. I mean, especially in this game. Like, again, I'm fairly confident in saying that the two of you are completely incompatible biologically. So, yeah, apparently all of the clones that Mephiles used were a distraction so that he could go see Sonic and Elise in some random field and quite literally kill Sonic. You thought this game was depraved before. We haven't even begun to deprave, you see. Because the last episode is where it all goes off the rails. Every single thing that could potentially be salvageable about this game, just out the window. Throw it out. Put it in the fire. Speaking of fire, Elise is about to cry because Sonic is dead.
No.
And now Iblis's form from the present is being released directly in front of Mephiles, so I guess at the very least they can be whole again.
The seal is broken.
We can ascend to the top of the tower and fight God now. Or, wait, wrong game. And I'm going to assume that because of the fact that the two of you were separated all this time, you're probably going to be pretty angry. That's not a real Chaos Emerald.
It's time for the final curtain.
You literally just created that out of bullshit MacGuffin stuff. Like, you may have created that from the dust of Shadow's shadow. What do you mean, Chaos Emerald? Is it DDS2 levels of leaving the rails? No, because when DDS2 left the rails, it was earned. In this game, it's unearned. It just goes completely batshit without a good reason to go batshit. They're just like, okay, so we've made this game, and it's kind of garbage. How bad could we possibly make it? How depraved could we possibly get with the story? How much bullshit can we throw at the player before they finally give it a rest and call it a day? And they really try, let me tell you. I mean, we've already sort of seen it. Sonic is dead. Like, that's a pretty strong statement to open on. And it isn't even an April... Well, okay, so it is an April Fool's joke this time, but not like an officially sponsored April Fool's joke, unlike the murder mystery game that they just released. So, guys, goodbye. Because Solaris is back and... they're probably pretty pissed. Yeah, so you remember when Station Square got flooded by chaos? They were like, let's one-up that. Let's just murder everybody. You had Rampart, Camouflage, and Heart of Stone up, and you were still dying. But it's your fault, you guess. That doesn't sound right. Some seems a little suspicious there. When did we have a Shadow Emerald? I mean, it looks cool, but where did it come from?
Where are we?
Good question. As usual, we will have no answer. Tails, stop looking at Amy's ass. Oh, hi, Silver.
Chaos Emerald has disappeared.
How did you get here? Isn't this the present?
What are you doing here?
And also, since
This is all so
you're
confusing.
here, I mean, I know Blaze got banished to another dimension, but wouldn't that bring you, her here with you? No, they can't let you play as Blaze in this episode. She's gone. Sorry. So Solaris distorted time. And now we're in the end of the Subspace Emissary. That's just fantastic.
Due to Mephiles' manipulation.
I hear more leitmotif in the background, so at least that's good. I mean, bad, because Sonic is dead, but, you know.
No. You don't think...
They actually went through with it. I told them to rewrite the script! But they decided, no, they're just gonna kill him. You can really tell that they were focusing hard on Princess Elise, though, because she gets a whole big nose scene, and Amy just gets voiceless crying. You know, Amy, who's known Sonic for, at this point, 12 more years than Elise has. Sure, game.
So that's why he wanted me to kill Sonic before.
Well, yeah, because it would have caused Elise to cry, even though she's had multiple opportunities to very definitely probably would have cried if she was a normal person and not governed by the plot. At other times during the, you know, story.
Consume all existing timelines, and time itself will collapse and disappear into nothingness.
Have you figured out string theory, Eggman?
Instability of time caused this time-space.
Like, did you figure this out before trying to manipulate Iblis this time? Because that's surprisingly perceptive of you.
Now! No, it is a transcendent life form that exists in the past, present, and future.
Which all exists right now,
Defeating
because
it here,
time means
now,
nothing
would do nothing.
in this timeless space.
No, I won't give up. There has to be a way.
Well, I mean, you're right, to be fair.
If you say it exists in the past, present, and future, I'll destroy them all at once.
I'm not sure you can
Certainly,
do that by yourself,
it
but...
might have been possible if he was still alive.
Well, what do you mean? Knuckles can go super. Just have you, Knuckles, and Silver do... Oh, wait, yeah, Knuckles has been sandbagged to hell and back in this game. So... That means he kind of can't do it. And the Hyper Emeralds, or not Hyper Emeralds, Super Emeralds are nowhere to be found, so it's not like Tails can go super, even though he's, like, the best super character in the series. So...
I feel Sonic's presence in the wind.
What does that even mean?
I don't think he's dead yet.
I'm pretty sure you're bullshitting, Elise. I'm pretty sure you just want him to live.
It's not too late.
But I guess someone here has to be optimistic since Amy's not doing it.
Let's call him back with the power of the Chaos Emerald.
I'm pretty sure they're not Dragon Balls, Silver. I don't think we can just summon Shenron for this.
On using its power to perform this miracle. You can do it, Princess.
I don't know how. They're not... They've never been used for this before. Like, why are you just... Well, I know why. It's because they're using it to govern the plot,
To
but...
rescue Sonic's soul.
Alright. Sure.
I'll do it.
Well, you don't have much of a choice. Hell, they couldn't even properly grammatically do stuff in this episode. They just missed an L in that sentence there, so I don't think you have much of a choice.
Emeralds to the distant corners of this distorted world.
Of course he did. So are you gonna give us a like a radar or something?
In time, we'll have to split up. I'll go too. Because it's for Sonic.
You ever think about the fact that if Elise didn't exist, Amy wouldn't have to go do this, so we could get another Eggman Walker section like in Sonic Adventure 2? I think I'd be a little more on board for the last episode if it was the only one where I could play as Eggman, if I'm honest. But no, instead we have to play as all 7 of the other characters in the end of the world to collect the Chaos Emeralds and save Sonic's life. Somehow. Still not clear on how, but okay. You meant to ask in the past, why is her crying what releases Iblis? You always tune up for this part, so you still don't understand. I don't even think the developers understand why that's what releases it. They kind of came up with the idea of, okay, so don't cry or else you'll release the monster. And it's like, why? Well, you see, there is no real reason why. It just sort of, oh my god, it just sort of happens. So... Also, the part that I was talking about where I said, this is where the game gets mean and throws Mega Man X6 levels of bullshit at you. Take a look at those. Those are the Mephiles portals. Those are the bane of your existence for the next 20 minutes or so, because they are, well, to put it simply, they really suck. And by that, I mean they suck everything in around them, including you, and generally make your life a bad time. As if the gigantic enemy spawns, laggy frames, and everything else wasn't bad enough. You also have to deal with those now. Now, if you hit the eagle statues with the crystals, you can temporarily disable the Mephiles portals, but they only last for a certain amount of time, and eventually the portals will be back, so, you know, try not to have that happen. I'm going to try to have Tails get all the way over here. It didn't work. That's okay. You can have Tails fly all the way over there if you do that correctly. I evidently did not do it correctly, but yeah, you can have him fly all the way over there without having to worry too much about that if you do it right. So, I'm just going to try this out again. Hold on. Grab this. I always like to grab that because I know where it is and it gets me some extra points, so that helps a little bit. But yeah, touch that. That'll get rid of any of the portals that were in your way. Obviously, go around those guys. Thanks, Mr. Tutorial Man. I'll attempt to do that. Alright, anyway, the portals are coming back, so let's kind of go this way. Do I get to try it again? I could try it again, maybe. And, like, feather it, maybe, and I'll get across close enough. Yeah, that's what it is. You feather it, and then you'll get straight to the thing. Do I go for this? I'm going to go for the 1-up because I lost it. Alright, there we go. That's 1 emerald down. Here, let me read chat while I'm thinking about it. Return to the Super Emeralds? Maybe, please? Boy, I wish. Chaos Emeralds do whatever they're written to do. It makes you question a lot of the things in this franchise. Why does she look dry-eyed as fuck? Wasn't she crying earlier? That would require a lot more processing power than they knew they had at this point in time, I think. So they probably figured, nah, nobody's gonna notice, it's fine. Oh good, they give you access to Omega in a place where you can't take advantage of his top speed being really, really good. That's just great. Well, at the very least we can take advantage of his flapping ability, so let's just do this real quick and smack some things up. Oh good, the thing got rid of a few of them. If that pulls you in, by the way, I forget if it's like instant death, but I feel like it is instant death. Like even if you have rings, I feel like it just knocks you straight the hell out. So, but I could be wrong about that. So, there you go. Oh, by the way, it's not just the matter of the portals sucking either. Some of the portals also blow, and by that I mean they shoot items at you at Mach speed. So that's fun. So try not to get hit by those, and try to get some points where you can. Because if you don't, well, you might not end up with such a good ranking here, but it's okay. Well, okay, Jesus. Dodging, ducking, and diving, shuck and weave there, Omega. It's the only way we'll make it through. Oh my god. Okay. Guess I'm dealing with you guys. I wait for the platform. There we go. Alright, cool. That's 2 down. You missed his voice from Heroes. This one hurts to listen to. Yeah, this one's way too robotic. Like, I don't know why they did that with him. Like, he was so much more entertaining in Heroes, where he was just like he was basically an edgy teenager, but it was far more entertaining than here, where he's just super monotone, you know? Like, it doesn't... Why do that to him? What purpose does that serve, you know? Like, what... I don't get it. Anyway, Knuckles section. I'm surprised I didn't get hit right there. Again, as usual, Knuckles drops like a rock. Okay. Yeah, it is instant death. Okay, gotcha. Didn't see that portal behind the boxes. Probably shouldn't have just punched them randomly, but that's okay. Yeah, as usual, Knuckles' section is one of the worst because he drops like a rock, so try not to do too much with him. Although I think I'm going to have to now because I don't think I'm going to have a choice in it. Since I just, you know, lost all my points by dying. Okay. Never mind. The portals will come back too quickly. Let's just move. If we move fast, maybe we'll get out of this section where it's 6 miles an hour before things become really bad. Okay, there we go. I don't know how I just did 3-hit combo, considering I didn't even realize I was doing more than 1-hit combo there, but that's okay. I think I remember where the emerald is in this one, and this is a good start right here. Let's just hope I can get to it from here. You know, meander my way around a little bit. Yeah, there it is. Alright, Knuckles, let's beat this guy up. Okay, never mind, you didn't even get to do that. The portal threw an explosive at you and it hit the dude. Wasn't Heroes the last main game before this one, or was that Shadow the Game? Yeah, I think Shadow the Game was the last main one before this one, because they had a bunch of spin-offs, like the advanced ones and the Rush ones, but I think that Shadow the Hedgehog was the last mainline title before this one, and before that was Heroes, so, if I recall correctly. So there you go. Alright, now for everybody's least favorite section of this level, because Silver is really slow, the portals pull you in really fast, and they're essentially instant death. So, good luck. This is where you will lose most of your lives, if you're not careful. If you are careful, you might still lose most of your lives here, but hey, we'll try to be careful as best we can, anyway. I've taken your friend hostage. What will you do about it? Get a few points while we're at it. Why not? If the portals are coming back, I guess I better get moving. Ow. Oh no, my rings! Okay, I got a couple of them before they reappeared. Okay, I gotta use this platform as a... Okay. There's a checkpoint here. Because Silver can overdo the, whatchamacallit, the acceleration of the portals. It's just not easy for him, because even when he's hovering, sometimes he can't quite get enough speed to go past the portals, so... Alright, I'm taking all of you with me. I think I should grab my rings, and then I was going to go back up to... You know, I'm going to go back up to the eagle statue. Because it's just to give myself a little bit of extra time, you know? We don't have too many slopes to play with, so accelerating with his double booster doesn't really do a whole lot of good here, unfortunately. Why am I standing around doing that? I need to not do that. I need to get past these things. There we go. Maybe I'll get rid of this, too. Like I said, these things really suck. And, you know, getting past them is a matter of deep, deep resistance. You have to resist with every ounce of your being. And really try to rocket your... Oh my god. Okay, thank you. I guess at the very least they can do that, and that's helpful. I'll take it, that's fine. Okay. The spike balls were about to come back for their revenge one last time there, but hey, it's okay. We're fine. But yeah, this section is really tough. Like, I remember this being where I lost the vast majority of my lives previously. So, I mean, it's not over yet, so there's still a distinct chance that that will happen, but we'll see. Not even going to use the platforms, I'm just going to use the edges. They work too. Now, this part's really tricky, though, because there's quicksand right there. So if you just kind of jump and expect there to be a platform there, there is not a platform there. You will die. So, don't do that. Just jump and throw. You know what I mean. Oh my god. Okay, well, that was a little troublesome, but I'll take my ring back, please. Thank you. Before problems come up, let me do this real quick. There we go. I hear the emerald, so it must be close. Yep, there it is.
Sonic, here I come.
Alright, we made it through that without too much of a problem, so... What happened with this game again? Wasn't this hyped up to be the 15th anniversary celebratory game? Yes, and from what I remember, I think there was some sort of a computer corruption at Sega's, like, HQ or something, and it caused most of the game's files to get erased, like, 10 months before it was supposed to be released for the 15th anniversary. And they ended up developing what we currently have. Rouge, could you please come up with something original to say? Knuckles already said that. We got what we have now in a total of 10 months worth of development. So that was, excuse me, why we ended up with, you know, almost nothing, basically. Like, nothing might have been preferable in this case. Because, that's not even the worst part too, is that 2006 was a bad time all around for the Sonic series. Like, the 3 games, they released 3 games in 2006. They released the GBA port of Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the original Genesis one, the port of it, and that was garbage. They released this game, and it was garbage. And they released Sonic and the Secret Rings, which was arguably their most successful title of the year, although I think this game still sold more copies than... Please stop, Rouge. Than this one did. Or no, this one sold more than Secret Rings did, and it's obviously, I mean, that's not an indication of quality. It's still pretty garbage, but, you know. But yeah, if I recall correctly, like, that sticks out in my mind, 10 months of development time, because I'm pretty sure that was this game, so... Alright, Amy section. I wouldn't even bother fighting anything, to be honest. Her hammer has, like, no hit frames on it, so just try to run, if possible. And don't, like, get sucked while you're at it. That would be the most preferable situation. And, you know, don't get searchlighted either, because that would probably not help either. Can we call that ESP, what I just did there, where I didn't even know that something was going to hit me? I was just like, nah, you know, maybe I should just double jump. And then I did, and I just dodged a bullet. Oh, you gotta be... How the hell do you want me to get through this, especially with no rings? I mean, I guess like that, but you really gotta be careful with that, because that is something, man. Alright, let's grab the rings, Amy, before we get murdered here. But yeah, I wouldn't even bother with fighting anything unless... I think you have to here. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the door won't open unless you kill those 2 guys to get to the next emerald. But... you know, I saw the health bars, and I was like, wait, where are they? And then, well, you know. This is why you don't want to fight anything, by the way, because you basically have to get inside of their hitbox in order for Amy's hammer to actually do anything. So, yeah, don't bother. Oh, the portals are coming back. It's a good thing we're done with that section. Yeah, that is a bad year in hindsight. Like, it's something. Definitely not their best moments, that's for sure. Intuition's amazing, my guy. Like, eventually intuition becomes a person's best trait, in your opinion. I feel like I may have remembered something similar to that. Like, that almost felt like muscle memory. Like, it happened to me before, and I got, like, sucked up and killed or something when I got hit by a projectile. So maybe that was what it was. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I've just played enough of these games at this point to where I know when something bad is going to happen. I don't know. Okay, sure. I mean, if you don't want to die, that's fine, too. I'm just going to take a few of these rings. Get a little extra point bonus. But we're on the last section. We're on the shadow section. Mr. Eagle, save me! I'm going to die. I can't get that ring. I got to get this one. Okay. Take me to the next section, Mr. Eagle. No, never mind. Mr. Eagle, save yourself! Jesus Christ, he almost just flew into a portal. Alright, let's see if Light Dash is working. Sweet. Alright, that's awesome. It sometimes doesn't work, so it's good to see that it did work that time. I'll wait for it and get the extra 1-ups. The 1-ups are nice because they give you some extra points, so... okay. Extra points that might not... Hang on, wait a minute. We're okay. We're okay. Shadow's fast enough, I think. I just did that out of panic as well, so I'm still panicking, that's why. I just had a couple of small panic attacks right there, just in case anyone was wondering why I was behaving like a madman just now. So, yeah, hit it, good. Where the hell am I going? Okay, here we go. No, stop that. There was a portal right behind me, so I said, no, we need to move. No, I'm not stopping for points, I just want to get through and get it over with. Goodbye, sir. Off we go. You can homing attack the rails as well, so that's nice. I was going to try to get those 3 bonuses over there for the extra points, but we made it through End of the World. That's the important part. How many emeralds are left? I'm running out of BS to spew. That was the last one. I feel like they missed an opportunity with this one, though, because they had Shadow get the silver emerald. They could have had him get the green emerald so that it felt like it was coming full circle, but That would have required this game to have any amount of foresight whatsoever involved in its development, and it did not have any of that. So... But yeah, that stage is a bitch. I made it look probably a lot easier than it actually is, so be careful. That is the best thing I can tell you. Be careful. Those portals do not mess around. If you need additional info on how to clear bullshit levels, though, you can refer back to my Mega Man X6 Extreme Mode playthrough, where we basically made that game look a lot easier than it actually is as well. So, there you go. Yeah, that was a B. You need to get, like... To get an S rank, you need to keep a lot of your rings, really, I think. And, you know, fight a decent chunk of enemies. You need to do a little bit of everything in that level, and it's really hard to do because, like... You, can kind of get instantly killed in a lot of places in that level, so...
I wish to save this world. I wish to cleanse my father's sin.
The one that he forced me to bear all these years.
Once again.
I'm sure you do, but the Chaos Emeralds don't do that. Like, okay, so they made new emeralds for the Rush games, right? They were the Soul Emeralds. Why didn't they just make Soulliana Emeralds? Or just use the Soul Emeralds again, so it doesn't convolute the Chaos Emeralds like this? Again, it would have required any oversight at all. And if they had oversight at all on this game, they wouldn't have allowed this to happen. And bestiality. And necrophilia. At the same time. Wow, they really did tick all the boxes in this game, didn't they? But apparently, bestiality plus necrophilia plus 7 Chaos Emeralds equals supersonic, so... Okay. Fair enough, I guess.
Thank you, Elise.
Sorry, Elise. Frontiers is literally making you question what's going on right now. Yeah, who is us? Well... I suppose it could just be me. I don't know. The point of the matter here is just silly things. Silly things all around. How depraved could they get? Well, you saw what just happened. That's how depraved they can get. I had to show it because it's one of those things where you'll tell people, yeah, they committed bestiality and necrophilia in a Sonic game, and they'll be like, what? No, there's no way. It's like, no, watch. It just happened. So. Alright, fellas, I need to share my energy with you. I don't know how he knew Silver could do that. I guess just all male hedgehogs have the ability to go Super Saiyan. Fair enough. But we need them to fight in the past, present, and future, and Knuckles and Tails get shit on because they don't get to do a damn thing now, so... Here we go. Amy is Ring over there. That is true. That could have been her. She probably wanted it more. Yeah, I guess it's because he's a male hedgehog. Like, I feel like that's probably a comic thing that they just sort of accepted as canon, you know? I don't know. Anyway, final boss time. Defeat Solaris. So we will do that. Or Solaris, however you want to pronounce it. I say Solaire because if only I could be so grossly incandescent, maybe I would outshine this game.
Is the sign of a super-dimensional life form.
Uh-huh.
Standard attacks won't work on him. He eats dimensions for life.
I'm sure he does.
But there should be something that's anchoring him in this dimension.
And what's that?
That's probably the light shells that can be seen on his body.
Oh, okay.
If all of those are destroyed, he can be defeated.
So what he's kind of trying to tell you
You need rings to stay in a super
is that you need to hit the inner core. And he's got those armored plates on his arms.
Use the triangle button to switch to something.
Thanks, Rouge. That's the only thing I need to know. Now, here's something that they actually do that I really don't like. You can't actually damage Solaris at the beginning with anyone except for Silver. You have to damage him with Silver using this method, where you throw these things that he shoots at you at him. Because he'll try to block them with his arm, and then when he blocks them with his arm, he'll take damage when he does it. Also, they give you the thing that lets Silver throw everything at once in this section, because I guess they figured you probably would have bought it already. But you have to damage his left arm with Silver. You can't damage him with anybody else right now. So if you're having trouble with this part, that's why. It's because you have to specifically damage him with Silver to start with. After that, you damage him with Shadow, which means you have to switch twice again. the game is costing you like 20 seconds worth of time bonus in this just because they poorly designed this boss fight, and then you can finally damage him with Sonic once that's over with. So, but yeah, you see how he's blocking with a different arm now? We broke the other arm's armor, so now we can switch over to the next person, and they can get their hits in. So. Also, if you, I guess if you hold the X button down, you can go really fast. So you have to hold the R1 button down to charge things and then press the square button to fire. But if you're having trouble dodging stuff, just hold the X button down and you'll go really fast. So if you need to, do that. But circling around seems to work pretty good for me, from my understanding. So I would wait until the bar's all the way full, though, because it doesn't seem to do a whole lot if you don't, so. Like when you hear that sound effect. Okay, so his other arm is broken now, so this should be shielded. So now you have to switch twice again to get over to Sonic, so that he can do the last over 1/3 of Solaris' health. So Sonic takes a while to charge up, but I think he deals a lot of damage when he hits him. Yeah, that looked pretty good. So. But yeah, that's the gist. Use Silver first, then Shadow, then Sonic, and then go to town. Once you've exposed the core, just go to town. We haven't quite exposed the core yet. He's still got the body armor left. So yeah, see, there we go. Now that we've damaged the body armor all the way, I think anybody can damage him now. So, but I mean, Sonic's already here, so we might as well just stick it out for a little bit. Why not, right? We're running circles around him at the moment, so let's just keep doing it. And goodbye. Say Soul Titanian, you are not sorry. You like the Sun Butterfly Moth Girl from Mega Man 04. That's an interesting name. Yeah, I'm not aware of that one. Haven't played the Zero series yet. We'll get there.
Is it over?
No, it's not over yet.
There has to be a Phase 2, Silver. That's how these boss fights work.
I guess it's not gonna be that easy.
It never is, Sonic. I feel like I've seen this guy before. Like, maybe he was... I feel like he's the Hylian symbol on the... what's the shield from Zelda? Is it just the Hylian shield? No, I don't think so. But it's the one that he has at the end of most of the games. Like, that's what he looks like to me, so... Anyway. Ow.
Impossible to defeat a super-dimensional being after all?
No, actually. It's not. So the way that this part works is the only time you can damage Solaris, from what I understand, is when he's attacking you. So wait for him to attack you, and then... I don't know if that's considered an attack. It is, okay. So, yeah, wait for him to attack you with the laser or with these spike balls, because if you don't do that, well, I don't know what just happened there, but basically if you don't let him attack you first, he'll block it with the shield thing, so... Try to wait for him to attack before you attack. Ow. Or die. I mean, that could be a thing, too.
Okay.
He detects an attack on the core. He will put up a field with the wings of light.
It's pretty accurate with that laser, too.
The moment he attacks is your chance. Solaris' core will be vulnerable. Evade his attack, and strike at the same time.
Okay, I can probably do that, maybe. I'll just go in circles, because why not? Okay, I did what you said, Rouge, and it did nothing. So we will switch. I think Shadow has the easiest time hitting him in this part, honestly, if I remember correctly. Because you can just kind of hold down R1 and X and then just, you know, keep going with it. Okay, see, that time it worked, probably because this is considered an attack. I don't know if the lasers are considered an attack. I guess that hit him, so it must. Yeah, I think it's just like the in-between sections where it's not, so I guess we wait now. We'll switch to Silver in a minute, see if we can get some damage off on him. The final boss music, by the way, is really good, though. This is Solaris Phase 2. It's almost worth the effort of playing this game to hear this theme again. Again, though, I can just, you know, look up the theme on YouTube, so I don't know if it's that worth it. We're trying. You can get a couple of hits off if you do it right, basically. I'm gonna switch to Silver. Why not? See if he gets blasted by this laser that's gonna hard code directly towards him. Ow. Wasn't even a laser in that section. Okay. The other thing about Silver, he kind of gets shafted in a lot of cases, because even in his super form, he has to wait to charge back up again. Like, he can't do Psychokinesis immediately. He has to wait a little bit before he can do it again. And that's just not really helpful to him. It kind of makes him, like, actively worse than Shadow and Sonic in a lot of cases, so... Plus, the balls that he throws at you can explode in midair before they even get to him, which is, you know, not very good. So. You're thinking that too. He's literally just a Hylian emblem. Yeah, but YouTube uploads, I know. We'll work on that, so. Can I get under the laser by doing this? Okay, well that did good damage. So that's good. Let's see that again. Oh, okay. Well, let's not. Just go in circles as best I can to avoid the laser. It seems like it works better to go in circles. Okay, see, that time it didn't do anything again, and I got damaged in the process, so, like, it's a little finiggity, as you can see.
You can do it, Shadow.
I'm trying, Rouge. I don't know how well it's working, but I'm trying. Gonna keep shooting. Maybe they'll get through, like, if he keeps attacking relentlessly like that, maybe it'll get through faster. He's not quite in pissy boss mode yet, though. He will be, but he's not quite there yet. I think he should be there HP-wise now, though. Yeah, there we go. There's pissy boss mode. It's just a whole fuckload of lasers. I think if you stay low in this section, you're a little bit safer. Like, if you try to go high, it doesn't really work out for you, but if you go low, I think you can avoid most of the lasers, so. I know, I'm hitting a shield at this point, so. I'm trying, Eggman. Where's the lasers? Oh, hang on, I gotta switch. There we go. Alright, so, oh, okay. Wait, hang on. Wait, hold on, what just happened? Did we beat him? We beat him! Now, is it gonna make me retry it even though I died in mid-transition there? How's that gonna work? Hold on. Was that a not even close, baby? Let's see. Not even close, baby. Nailed it, absolutely. Died on the frame that he died. That is a Dark Souls moment right there. And actually, if we would have gotten the final hit off with Silver, we probably would have gotten an S rank, but... You know what? I'll take it.
That was incredible.
Actually, we got an S rank anyway. Oh, it's only 30,000 for it. Wow, that's surprising. But yeah, that's the gist of Solaris. It's kind of a crapshoot of a fight, honestly, because they don't really make it clear when you can and can't attack him or how you need to attack him in order to kill him. But if you know the secret, he kind of falls over backwards pretty easily. But, well, there you go. Like, if you had to quit 14, at least the music is frequently uploaded to YouTube and other such sites. Also, how come Solaris can hurt you in super form? I thought only Big Arms from Classic could do that. Maybe it's because he's like a super dimensional being like Eggman keeps going on about, and so it allows him to, I don't know, get past the Chaos Emerald's energy barrier? I got nothing. That's probably the last question we'll be asking. You know, before we finish this up. There's just the final cutscenes now, and then the credits where I'll talk about this crapshoot of a game after a crapshoot of a final boss, and then we can be done with it. I actually finished this episode up pretty quickly, though. I didn't know... I figured End of the World and that boss fight were going to be more of like a hit-or-miss thing, but... Well, we did it in fairly timely fashion, as usual. So... Nice work, fellas. Even though, you know, it seems like Shadow did most of the work and Sonic took most of the credit. That sounds like it's a pretty standard affair, though, in this case. Shadow does most of the work, Sonic takes most of the credit. Silver just gets bloodied, because he was here for, like, one thing. If only Lifeblood were here to witness the game ending, he'd probably be pretty happy with it. You know what's probably going to happen is he's probably, like, watching something, like, it takes precedence over this. He's going to get here, and the stream's going to be over, and he's going to be like, oh, well, okay, at least now we can move on.
No. That is the true Solaris.
where are we now? Are we in, like, the vacuum of space where you fight Ultimecia or something? Am I going to walk out of this and end up in a flower field?
Look, Elise. This is Solaris, the flame of hope.
It's so beautiful.
When the flame has grown large enough, our world will change.
So they don't really explain this too well, but the impression that I always got was that Elise's father was getting too old to wait for the flame to get to the point where they could use it in a positive manner. So he started experimenting on it in order to sort of force it into allowing them to control time. And that's where all this bullshit ended up happening, where he had to seal it in his daughter's body and all that other crap. That's the impression I get. I'm probably just writing things for the developers because they thought it through approximately as much as not at all, but that's the impression that I get from this. So, because before, it was just kind of the treasure of Soliana. They kept it locked up in a vault. It was a nice little everlasting open flame. It looked like a candle. Everything's good. All of a sudden, you get to 10 years in the past, and it just wants to kill everything. So...
This is where everything began.
Guess it's cutscene power. Why did Sonic transform back? Just joking. No way he changes back. I forget, did the energy in the emeralds run out, or did he just transform back because they had to go do this? I don't remember how that all works. It's been a while.
If we put out this flame,
I might need this for a
Solaris
thumbnail.
will
Hold
never
on.
exist. And then we'll never have to worry about the flames of disaster.
You know what I might do is I might leave it like that until she blows the candle out, because she's going to blow the candle out and then I'll turn chat back on, but I can still respond to it because I can still see it on my phone. Solaris shouldn't exist. Like, imagine the modern day nation having the power to just control time. Well, they didn't really have the power to control time until after they forced the flame to be experimented on for potentially years, so they kind of made their sins happen a long time ago.
To tell the truth,
Supersonic probably doesn't have a cutscene model. I mean, yeah, that's
I don't
probably
care
true.
what happens to the world.
So, I mean,
Elise,
listen,
just smile.
the world that you're currently in is royally fucked. The Chaos Emeralds are in the wrong places at the wrong times, and you literally couldn't show very many emotions because your father committed a cardinal sin and sealed an everlasting flame inside your body that would literally shoot out of you and destroy the planet if you ever cried. So, yeah, one of those will be thumbnail. I don't remember which one. At least existence has ended. Stop being a brat. I'm gonna be a brat here for a second, actually. So here's my thing. This is the thing that gets me about Sonic 06. It gets to some really depraved places, like I've said previously. Before the final boss, we literally watched the game commit bestiality and necrophilia at the same time. It goes to some bad, bad places. But then, at the end of the game, it has the gall, the audacity to decide, you know what, no, I'm just going to erase myself from the canon and hope that that's enough for players. And no, it's not enough, because I still played this shit. So, no, you can't just, oh, okay, it was all a dream and hand wave it away, or it was all a different timeline that doesn't exist anymore and hand wave it away and expect me to be okay with it. The game still exists. I will still remember it.
I'm sure it's just the wind.
Well, yeah, that's the part that she figures.
Felt so familiar somehow.
She doesn't remember any of this, by the way. I feel like Sonic might remember, but yeah, Soliana doesn't remember anything that just happened as a result of her erasing Iblis from existence, because by erasing Iblis from existence, their experiments could never happen, so now they're just a royal city. Forget about the fact that there's potential other ramifications, like their city, you know, not being as powerful as it was because it doesn't have an everlasting flame that can control time anymore. Like, I feel like the scientific advancements alone would cost them a mint, because they advanced so much and they had such high technology that their society could evolve, but don't ask questions. You'll never get answers, because the game never thinks about them. When does Sonic become the Knight of the Wind? In a game we will not be getting to, because that is the game, everybody! Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 is finished. We beat it. We finished the game that nobody likes. So there you go. Time manipulation always ends up like this. I mean, yeah, that's true. And I'm also asking too many questions, so we'll never get through this if we ask too many questions. Alright, let me take a drink and then I'll talk about this. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 is a game that is reviled by the internet. And for good reason. It's really, really bad. And no one is here to debate that. I am not here to try to find redeeming value in it or anything like that. Like, oh, maybe there's parts of it that are good. My assessment of it is that there are potential pieces of good things in it that are just mulled over by a ton of unoptimized bullshit. So it kind of ruins any potential good that the game could have. So I'm not here to debate, is it a good game or a bad game? It's a bad game, and anyone that tells you otherwise is wrong. It's objectively awful, and you should not play it if you want a good Sonic game. There are plenty of others out there. What I want to talk about with this game is, what is the point of it? What legacy did it leave behind for the series? And we can talk about how, well, you know, after this, Sega had an awful year. They kind of had to claw their way back out of the hole that they dug themselves into in 2006. We could talk about that, but it's less about that and more about, for me, how this game affects the game industry as a whole. What it could have been versus what it was for the game industry as a whole. Because in late 2005, Sega started to develop this game after losing most of their progress on it and having to start over. And they somehow managed to dredge up all of the most awful pieces of game design of the 7th generation of consoles that still sometimes plague game development today, and managed to mash it all up into this mess, this chimeric mess of a video game. Open worlds with nothing in them, awful NPCs, stiff wooden cutscenes, stories that make no sense, troubled development time, having to crunch in order to release for a budget, games releasing in alpha state, like the list just goes on and on and on. There's also, by the way, since we're not going to be playing it, there's also region-locked and console exclusive DLC for this game. In case that wasn't clear to anybody, there is literally a DLC that only released for this game on the Xbox 360 version, so obviously I can't play that one because it's the PS3 version. But there's also, I think if I remember right, a DLC that's different in Japan than it is in the US. So that's just another thing to add to the pile of mistakes this game makes. Like, about the only mistake that it doesn't make is microtransactions. But the reason why it doesn't make that mistake is because it came out before the advent of smartphones, before all of those sorts of games that smartphones took advantage of where they could have microtransactions in them really became popular. So I guess that's a silver lining in a way. Just like the music, but doesn't really save it at all. But it does all these things. What could that have said for the game industry as a whole? Well, if the game industry had any sense of genre savvy whatsoever, a lot of the developers and the executives who were developing for the 7th generation of consoles could have looked at this game, which came out very early in the PS3 and Xbox 360's life cycle, and they could have looked at it and said, wow, Sega really fucked up with this one. We should look at the mistakes that Sonic 06 makes, and we should develop our games to be better than what this one does. We should try to stray away from all of the bad that it creates and move forward as an industry towards more entertaining products. Instead of doing that, the games industry looked at this game and said, lol, Sega released a bad Sonic game, what the fuck is, what the fuck else is new? It's 2006, all they do is release bad Sonic games now. And they moved on, and then proceeded to create a bunch of games afterwards that made the exact same mistakes this game made. Sega was prescient in their awfulness with this game. They made all of the worst mistakes that you can make in a game's development, and they said, we fucked up. They didn't fix it, but they said, we fucked up. And the games industry looked at this and said nothing, and then proceeded to do the exact same thing for the past 17 years. We are still plagued by games that are released with roadmaps in alpha states that they say they will fix later. We are still plagued by games that release to horrible crunch periods where developers are tasked with 80-hour work weeks with no end in sight to get a game out for a holiday release date. It has not let up in the 17 years since this game released. So where this game could have been a cautionary tale for the industry to say these are all of the mistakes a developer can make from this generation of consoles onward, you should not make them. Instead, it served to predict the future. And the future it predicted was very bleak. And that is all I have to say about Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. It's an awful game that led the way to many, many other awful games that never learned from its mistakes. And that's the gist of it. There's still more credits to go, but we'll just sit here and listen to it. Lifeblood, you're here. You missed the entire thing. We actually beat the final stage and the final boss in a fairly timely fashion. We were done 13 minutes ago, so we've mostly just been watching cutscenes and credits since then. But welcome back. It wasn't really all that entertaining. I got sucked into a black hole like twice, and that's about it, so. If you try to think about it, would Soliana even have been founded if Solaris was never kept like a pet? We see the city still stands. What caused it to keep existing without using or needing Solaris? You can literally ask tons of questions, but it's pointless. Yeah. That's the gist. This game won't answer any of those questions, even if we have them, so. It just, you know. Is it worth asking those questions? Sure, absolutely, because these are questions that they should have had prepared if they were going to try to create a world like this, but they never spent time building the world. They just plop you in it and then have you play whatever with it, you know? They don't really build anything. They don't have time to build anything because they had 10 months to develop this game, and if they had more time to develop it, I feel like I don't know necessarily that it would have been salvaged, but at least it wouldn't have been this, you know? So. Yeah, Black Hole, did you switch to Galaxy 2? For you, an equally bad game. I'm not a big fan of Galaxy 2 either, to be honest with you. It feels kind of derivative of Galaxy 1, but without the story that I actually liked in Galaxy 1, so yeah, I'm kind of on board with you for that one. It's okay, fanfiction will answer the questions. Maybe, if people want to, with this awful garbage game. But yeah, so Mephiles started summoning black holes as the major obstacle of the final stage, so that was what that was all about. And they were instant death. Even if you had rings, it didn't even get rid of your rings. It just sucked you in and you died, so. Yeah. But we don't have to worry about it. This game can no longer be a black hole in my schedule. It's over. It's done with. I said my piece about what it could have been for the industry. It could have been a cautionary tale. It was not. The games industry is still making mistakes that this game made already. We're in the worst timeline, but at least this game is over with in the worst timeline. There is more to the game, of course, that I'm not going to cover. We missed basically every side quest in the game that wasn't required. Not going to do those because, I mean, if you want to, you could go back into the episodes and do riveting things like walking somebody's dog, or fighting more of Eggman's mechs that the Soliana army somehow captured, or fighting more of the Iblis and Mephiles creatures that the Soliana army somehow captured, or doing the stupid mini-game with the captain again, except this time it's not the first person you talk to, it's some random other jackass across town. If you want to do that, more power to you, I guess. If you want to pay Sega money to continue playing this game, you could buy the DLC. There's a very hard mode and a couple of other stages that you could play with Tails, Blaze, and Omega. I don't really see the point. Why would you torture yourself? You already played all of this. Why would you want to keep playing it, you know? But we won't be doing any of that. We're done. It's over, so. You should play Nevermind. That'll be your new suggestion. Ah, and there we go, Kid Icarus Uprising, and you've bought the stream suggestion pick, so that's 2 now. So now all we need to do is see if 2 more people purchase it by the end of the month, and we'll be good to go. You wouldn't look into Sonic fanfics? Yeah, the comics are already weird. What do you think the fanfics are? Probably worse. At least the comics are entertaining. Very hard mode for an already bullshit game. will support Lifeblood. Thanks. There you go. I'm sure Marie is saying you're welcome, Lifeblood, and I am also glad and welcome to be done with this game, because now we can move on to the tribute streams. As I mentioned on my most recent update video, in the time that I was playing my stream suggestions, I actually lost 2 individuals that were fairly dear to me. One was my dog Jaeger, he died in September of last year, and one was my uncle, who passed away this February from cancer. I want to do something for the both of them that will be far more respectful than this game is to anything. So, yeah, that'll be our next project, will be the one for my uncle, and then the one after that will be for Jaeger, and then we'll move on to other things. So, that is all that we will do for now. That's it for Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, the Stream Edition. Marie still has 328,000 chromatins left, so I'm sure she'll be able to support a whole bunch more people in the future for their suggestions. And of course, I should mention for the YouTube folks, if you have a suggestion, you can just let me know what it is. It'll go on the list. If enough people buy the pick a stream suggestion thing that Marie just bought, in a month, I'll play one of the games that was suggested. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I would say I hope you enjoyed Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, but I can't really hope that, because that's kind of a fool's errand. In any case, I will see all of you on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to start the first of the 2 tribute streams. Until then, everybody, or whenever I see you next around the internet, I hope that you'll take care and have a good one. Do people watch it on YouTube? What's the view count? Actually, a lot of people have watched this series on YouTube. The most recent stream export, the one where we finished Sonic's story, has like 85 views, which is about, what is that, like 17 times more views than I got on any of the Final Fantasy XIV streams. So a surprising number of people want to watch me play this game, actually. And I don't know why. I don't feel like I suffered enough through it to make it entertaining, but I'm glad everybody finds it as such. Anyway, I'll be back Saturday. Goodbye.